Rafik.
And this is Calista.
And
welcome to
Conversippin.
Introduce yourself, girl.
I'm Calista. Been friends with Brock for, too many years. We're not going to say it. I want to give away our age. And my newly friend for a while now, too.
Yeah.
She is a mother.
She is a gourmand.
She is a best friend.
What else?
She is a confidant.
A confidant? She's an activist.
We can do all the names that she is, but one thing that
She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's here.
One thing she is always is Calista.
Very true. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm excited.
You're our official first guest.
What?
How exciting is that?
You just don't even know.
No, there was a long vetting process.
Yes.
It was very long.
Had to take a
Don't
couple
worry,
lives.
you could be next on our list. So when we message you, you better message back. All right. So today we want to talk about toxic
relationships.
toxic people. Just being toxic in
things.
general.
Yeah.
Like what the things are that we can do to be less toxic.
Yeah.
So, Rafik, why don't you start?
Well, I think the hardest thing is, do you know that you're toxic?
Ooh, that's hey.
Yes.
How do
accepting.
you know that you're toxic?
Yeah, that's good.
If you find it hard, difficult for your friends to come out and meet with you, you might be toxic.
Yeah. You keep hearing the same things over and over from all your group of friends, saying the same things. You might be toxic.
If you are in a crowd and you don't have random people come up to you and want to have a conversation, you might just be toxic. So, yeah, I find that I go through different levels of toxic.
Very
Like
true.
I've been very toxic, and I admit to that. I mean, we've been there. Well, I've been there. I speak for myself. And it's a dark place sometimes. Like especially if you're aware that you're toxic and you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Because I did that.
But I think a lot of times when you fall into that place, you're not necessarily aware that you're toxic. You're just aware that something is off.
Well, maybe I'm just abnormal and I just knew it and didn't want to change it.
But wait. Is it now that with time and that you've had time to reflect that you realize you were toxic? In the moment, you probably didn't even realize it.
Okay.
Because I think that's what happens a lot. You just start not even realizing because of the negativity, things that are going on in your life, and you're projecting it, and you're not understanding why all of a sudden people are distancing themselves and things are happening. So that communication is really, really important when it comes to learning about how to communicate amongst yourself with other people to prevent yourself from trying to be toxic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you said the word communication because I believe communication is key to anything in life. Your relationships with your friends, with your partner, with your coworkers, all these different people. Communication is key to having a successfully, I guess, good relationship with them. Is that,
Yeah, no, I would agree. And I think that in times it's hard to communicate because people are afraid of reactions. We as people have a natural fear against rejection. So it's hard to say, hey, I don't really like that, or I like that. And then in turn, I react to the absence of that or the presence of that and then become toxic.
Because I'm thinking to myself, it's like maybe sometimes people just assume you know something.
Very true.
They have that assumption that you already know it, so they don't say it, and so then you don't say it, and they think you're not communicating with them.
Yeah.
So I think just having that open flow between two people makes the relationship healthier.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make it toxic at all.
So what kind of tips would you give if you're the person who wants to have a conversation with your toxic friend. I mean, those are hard conversations to have.
So you're saying we know that this person's toxic, and they have been. Oh,
Look.
we see a surprise. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much.
Cheese,
Cheese and crackers. You're such a great host.
I mean, I'm so sorry.
We might as well eat some cheese and some crackers. Let's do it.
Fantastic. Yes, but that's what I mean. If you are the person who notices that your friend is having some toxic issues going on, what would be some things that you would do to be able to just try to stir up that conversation in a positive way?
Okay. I'm trying to think of, have I ever had a conversation with a toxic person? Oh, yes. I have.
Last week? I mean, maybe.
I feel like we all have had. Or we've all been in a relationship that was toxic either because they were toxic themselves or our communication became toxic because we just didn't handle the situation correctly.
Okay.
I mean, I can think of an instance with me and you.
Okay.
And about to right to first. Well, no, I mean, for most of you guys who know, I was in a previous relationship with a person who was just not the best for me towards the end of the relationship.
Yes, correct.
And it got to a point where Brock was like, I just don't even want to hang around with you when you're with him because, you aren't the same person and you guys are always fighting and you're not happy. And in that moment, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember it. He didn't want to go on my damn birthday party trip with me
Okay.
because he was going to come. And then he didn't even come. But, I mean, sorry, Danny. Ooh,
Oh, you can
sorry.
curse. You can curse.
But, like, I remember sitting here thinking, like, is it really that bad? Is it that bad that, like, my peoples don't want to be around me because I'm trying to adjust? And when I'm with this other person, the toxic energy that I'm giving is just that bad.
Yeah.
Like, so.
So, okay. So I tried to have a civil conversation. And I was trying to relate that I just didn't like the situation between them because he brought the worst out of her. And so I didn't want to be around it. I didn't want to be trapped in a situation that I couldn't just easily get out of and have to deal with it a whole weekend.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't go on your birthday trip. She didn't want to hear it. So then I made up a story that I had to work. I got caught in the work.
That means he lied.
But no, I made the lie a truth because I went into work because they did need help, and so I did work.
It started as a lie, but then
I reversed it.
Then I reversed it and switched it up and it ended up working.
But you can try to have these conversations. If they respond to it, then that's progress on them. But if you can't deal with that toxic person over and over, I mean, you might just have to take dramatic steps.
Yeah.
Further.
So I am a firm believer in your happiness above all else, and it is your right as an adult to pursue and maintain your happiness and your joy.
Amen.
And there is nothing wrong with saying, hey, I need a break from you because I'm feeling like this. And that's really just that's kind of how I go about approaching any toxic situation, as like, this is what I'm feeling and I'm feeling this. And because I'm feeling this, I need to set up these boundaries.
So I hope y'all took a pen and wrote that down. That was some truth there.
Just hit rewind, girl. You got it.
No, I mean, really, it is. It's once you realize the self-love that you have for yourself and that you got to figure out how to surround yourself with that. If those people around you can't be on that level and elevate you and keep you at that level, then sometimes you do have to distance yourself.
Right. And that could be your mama.
It
That could be your father.
It could be anyone in your family.
Grandmother, your auntie. Like, I'm not coming to the family reunion because I don't have time for Uncle Jim to be looking at me lusting after my body, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. That is not really happening in my life.
I was like, wait, are we about to open something else up? I'm not sure.
Using that as an example.
But no, yeah, I completely agree. I feel like when you've hit a point in your life where you are happy, you realize that all those negative things that you went through and that toxic mess that you went through, it comes to light. You just see it all of a sudden. You see it, you're like, dang, Brock was right, Rafiq was right, Calista was right. I was acting that way. I was doing this because, I've said it on a previous episode before. My toxic relationship, I was in it for a year and a half, and that was just, it was terrible. Like, my friends stopped inviting me, and they're like, "Is your boyfriend coming?" It's always the question. If it was yes, they're like, "Oh, well, I don't,
I think my journal needs to go to the bed.
We don't have any more room in the car. Like,
my journal needs to go to the bed. I can't do it.
So I see that, but I feel like what I was saying is that when you get to that healthy, positive relationships in your life, you don't want to go back to that topic.
No. Yeah.
You prevent everything from happening again to get to that worst stuff. And like me, I'm the type of person, if I'm here and a friend is here, I'm going to try to elevate you to come up here.
Right.
I'm not going to put you down further to make myself up here, because what's going to happen is you're going to have all your friends down here while you're up here alone, because you're going to make everyone stop hanging around you.
The toxicity that you'll create is this gap of you having this burden, this imaginary burden that you've placed on yourself, that you feel like you are pulling and supporting all of your friends but not getting anything in return. So then your shoulders start hurting. You see what I'm saying? When you put bags of rice on your shoulder. Have you ever carried a bag of rice?
I've carried a 100-pound bag of hog feed. Woo!
You told me about that story.
That's country living. I ain't never carried none of that.
Brock and I are from the country. However, I'm married into my riches. But, some people aren't as fortunate. But, I understand, and I was there. But I'm saying that as you keep piling on all of this, it's really imaginary, right? Because you're really not supporting your friends. It's just that this gap is there because you're not communicating, you're letting things slide when really you should be more comfortable with your friends to say, look, that made me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, right.
And that doesn't mean that I don't like you. It just means that when you did that, it made me feel uncomfortable.
And then you having that conversation with your friend and their reaction is something negative, it's like it really tests how well you are friends.
Right. And then it kind of like lets you know, like, if the friend is the toxic person that we're talking about, that lets you know that, oh yeah, okay, let me slide off, because like I said in a previous video, everybody ain't meant to be your best bud.
Yeah.
Okay, some people are only your friends when you're at the bar, and some people are only your friends when you need to go to Sephora. Yeah. And you need to, some people are there for convenience and events. Yeah. And some people are there through thick and thin.
Yeah, you got the ride or dies. The ones that you can literally do nothing with and still have fun.
Right.
Like, those are the best. Like, I've had random times we're just literally sitting on the couch and we have the best fun. Like,
what did you do today?
Nothing.
We sat on the porch. Until it got dark.
So we watched cars go by, people watch,
Yeah.
whatever. It was so much fun. Because, with Jay, like, Jay, you watch. And, like, me and Jay, like, we legit we're just so natural as best friends that we can sit on the couch and be on our phones, not even, like, but just being around each other uplifts us.
Yeah.
Like, being around people that just being in the presence of them makes you feel better, you got something good there. You better hold on to them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. So, Calista.
Oh. Yes, Brock.
You know. You're on Conversippin. You've seen a few episodes, I hope.
He uploads them every week.
I mean, you got to ask these questions. People might say they do. But, no, so what made you want to be a guest?
Well, one, I have the pleasure of knowing you guys just on a personal level. And kind of coming to what we've been talking about, when you know people who are good people, you just like to have good people around. But more than anything, having people who speak their truth is just, you don't find that often. I've known Brock for years, And I think one of the things I've always said, and when everybody asks me, well, what is it? Like, you probably been friends with, I was like, Brock will give you his last dime, even if that meant, oh crap, it put him in a hole because of his loyalty. Like, he's ride or die for the people that he's with.
Don't make me cry.
And Rafiq is just positive energy. Like, from the first time I've met you, I mean, it's been nonstop. And so, you know, just in the past couple months, watching Conversippin and listening to the conversation, it's truth. And who doesn't want a little bit of that truth?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be able to be a part of that truth? So, yes, I was so excited to get the invite. I think I asked about it like the minute. I was like, oh, wait, when we doing this guest spot?
Yeah.
Had to kill a few people for the spot, but it's okay. I'm here. But yeah, just to be
disclaimer,
able to
she
sit.
did not really kill anybody.
For the record.
Right. But no, just to be able to sit and talk, because this is what we do. Like, this is like when we get together and we goof off and to share it with everybody. And, you know, again, everybody needs a bit of our knowledge. I mean, just really, I mean, you know, who doesn't need to know what Calista Johnson thinks?
When we get together, great ideas
Right.
are born. Gold is fabricated from the universe. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, I am a goddess, but these two are amazing individuals.
So excited to be here and so happy to talk about this, and more importantly, hoping that we help somebody in our conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think just being able to, for a person who just happens to come across it and listen and then really stop and reflect and think, oh man, wow, that's what's going on. I didn't even realize that was going on in my life.
Because we're like those outside opinions that you didn't think that you didn't even know you needed.
Yeah.
You know. So I looked at it. I went back and watched our own videos, which is weird. Maybe I don't know. Maybe people do that. But I was like,
sometimes you need to reflect.
Yeah. And like I listened to you know, advice I've given you guys that I sometimes don't take myself. But and I was like, oh man, that was good advice. I might should listen to it.
Right. But how often do we do that? How often do we give advice and then we start doing the same thing ourselves and we're like, when did I become this person? I would never allow my girl to do that. And then yet here I am doing it. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to be hypocrites. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Okay, so being our first guest, I have a lovely game for you.
Ooh.
We're gonna play Sit or Tell. Oh.
Sit or
So
tell.
we're gonna put 3 minutes on the clock.
3 minutes on the clock.
Brock's gonna beat our clock.
Okay. 3 minutes on the clock.
Okay, and so the rules of the game is very simple. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you can either tell us or sit.
Okay. All right. Be careful what you ask for.
Oh. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready?
All right, let's get it.
Okay.
Okay, first question. Have you ever lied?
Yeah. Like, just 5 minutes ago? No.
Okay. Have you ever lied to your children?
Yes.
All
They were
right.
definitely not getting that bike.
Oh snap.
And then you got them the bike?
No.
Oh, you definitely didn't get them the bike?
I told them in the store, yeah, we'll be back. Come on, let's go.
And no return.
And no return. It was sold out. Sorry.
Second lie.
Okay, so when you're out in public, you have to use the restroom. Are we a squatter or a sitter?
I sit because, you know, I'll just wipe and sit, but I gotta be comfortable. I mean, really.
I feel that.
I gotta be comfortable.
I feel that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I see that. I get that.
I see that.
Do you purposely ignore texts?
I'm just gonna
That's a
sit
good one.
here.
That's a good one.
No, I really do not. And like, what's so funny is this
Lie detector
morning,
says ding ding ding.
this morning
Lie.
I woke up and said, crap. I literally, that was the first thing I did when I woke up. And we could bring Nick down. You could ask him. I said, I gotta text Brock back. Brock texted me yesterday. What's going on? And then I pulled my phone up, and Brock had already retexted me again. What you doing? I was like, shit. No, I don't purposely. exactly. But I maybe. Okay. Next.
Okay, think to your past, right? Okay.
Oh God.
Think to your past.
Got a lot of past.
What is the pettiest thing you've curved a guy for?
I love the silence.
I feel like, do I say it? Do I say it? I mean,
You always
I'm
have
just,
the option of sipping.
I'm shallow. I can't. I mean, okay. So I'm a firm believer, in you got to test it before you buy it.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So normally let's be real. When we dating somebody, in that first 5 minutes of that date or so.
Oh, we're past 3 minutes.
Okay, but
that
first 5 minutes of that date or so, we've already decided if we sleeping with them or not. I mean, let's be real. We've already in our mind formed that opinion of, yeah, he can get it. Nah, he ain't about to get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, but like if they're just bad in bed, like I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, and they might be like everything else might be okay.
Yeah.
But like that's an important thing.
I feel you on that. Like that is a very important thing. But I also am to the point where there's the chances of me finding someone to be with for long term are getting slimmer. So
they are not.
I would rather not live.
I am 40 years old. It took me till 39 to find the
said her age
person I'm
out
supposed
loud.
to be with. That's okay, because I look good for 40, y'all. Don't even hate.
I mean,
Do that.
Hey,
you
don't
do.
hit baby mama.
You do. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Neither have I.
I'm not there yet.
So I mean,
I'm not even at the door.
I mean, there's probably there's a lot of petty things. I mean, I'm a petty
well,
person.
To stem off yours, like I've stopped talking to someone because of their voice. Everything else was perfect. Like
Same.
sex was good. Like we had great conversation. Yeah, everything was great, except their annoying voice. So yeah, I just couldn't get over it.
Same.
It's just like I was like, I have to hear this.
I stopped talking to
every day.
someone because their feet were ugly.
I mean, but you know what? I mean, again, if you're
It
gonna be out
was
there
one
taking the
toe.
pic and
It was just one toe. And it looked like tree bark. And I said, oh no.
He was
I
part
don't know.
Groot.
No. And look, that one toe was very common and I couldn't do it. I won't do it.
Oh my gosh, that's too
I mean, so
funny.
yes. I mean, in the grand scheme, I think we all have. I think again, as you get older, you realize the things that you need out of a person,
Yeah.
and you learn to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of
It's
wants that you.
It's all growing. I feel like every person you meet, there's some way to grow from that situation.
Yeah.
Like every
True.
person. Either you date them, you don't date them, you say hi, you meet them at a bar, random conversations, like everything you grow from if you realize what you're doing. There's some people that, people come in their lives and they're like, why were they in my life? But then later you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
So, so I feel like everything's a growing moment in everything that you do.
I don't know about that tree bark.
You realize you didn't like people with bad feet.
Right. You realized you knew then you needed to see that early on so you could make a decision.
It was like a random toe. Like it's usually the big toe or the pinky toe.
It's like the one in the
But it
middle.
was like the one in the middle. And I was like, why is this one just, what's going on here?
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Wait, do we got any more questions?
No,
we ran
we ran out of time.
We ran out of time.
Like 5 minutes ago. But